Everyone knows bubbles are fun, but did you know they can be inspirational as well? Here's a look at an uplifting Super Saturday event, the Bubble Wonder Show. Entertainer Jeffrey Akins is forever blowing bubbles in his chosen profession as an inspirational speaker and bubbleologist.
There's actually a handful of performers all over the world that do shows with bubbles. We call ourselves bubble artists or bubbleologists.
If you believe something's possible, chances are you can do it.
Basically, I'm an inspirational speaker using bubbles as my medium, and that's never been done before.
Excuse me, please go back inside the bottle.
A reoccurring performer here at the Mount Prospect Public Library, Akins' theme, Anything is Possible, rings true via his many bubblicious creations.
The running gag is we're going to try to create a square bubble. Now, I intentionally fail along the way because I'm also modeling persistence. I think it's invaluable for children to see adults fail, but to do it with humor and grace and persistence. The whole theme is this idea of we have to keep going, we have to keep trying if we want to achieve our dream. And we do. By the end of the show, we'll figure out a way to make a square bubble.
As promised, a white square bubble.
This Super Saturday presentation, The Bubble Wonder Show, encourages audience members to join in the fun.
We'll have lots of kids coming up to do things. I'll teach them how to do bubbles inside of bubbles, how to split one bubble into smaller and smaller bubbles. I'm going to have some children actually hold bubbles on their hands, and then near the end we'll actually put a child or two inside a bubble today. We do the bubble caterpillar. That's where I connect together a series of bubbles, each one getting a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller. We'll try to break the world record.
10!
And sometimes I'll be able to use that analogy of a caterpillar becoming the butterfly on this idea of, again, struggle, like struggling to follow your dream and make it happen.
A former teacher, Akins attributes his passion for this unusual profession to a chance encounter with an autistic student.
This boy would come in every day and leave every day without interacting with any of us. And one day I was playing with bubbles off in the corner of the room, just kind of by myself, and he came over to see what I was doing for the first and only time and actually made eye contact with me, and the teachers and I were just amazed. I didn't know what to do, so I just kept blowing bubbles for as long as he allowed me in. But afterward, all I could wonder was what else could I do with bubbles to lengthen that period of time that I had that connection with him. And answering that question has turned into a full-time calling.
Anything is possible. Akins' experiences are part of 3 literary projects which he co-authored, including a bubble kit for children called The Art and Science of Bubbles, as well as 2 inspirational books for adults, entitled Empowered and GPS for Success.
I was contacted a couple of years ago about a book that was coming out called Empowered, and they heard the story of how I started as a bubble man, which was all about this little encounter I had with a young boy with autism. So I wrote it out in this chapter called The Square Bubble, and it was included in the book Empowered, and it went on to become a bestseller. And then a very similar situation, someone's completely captured by what I did and asked me if they could interview me, and that interview was then turned into a chapter into a book called GPS for Success, Goals and Proven Strategies.
An award-winning theme song, Anything is Possible, sung by Akins' wife, Jen Hanna, reinforces Akins' message throughout a show that also inspires library patronage.
And I weave right into the show these positive messages about reading and finding the books you need at the library. At one point, I turn a bubble into a crystal ball, and then I say, who wants to know how I did this? And of course, everyone wants to know. So I'm channeling curiosity now. And I basically say, it's a magic trick, and I can't tell you the secret, but you can find the secret at the library.
Because